And now for something a little different. To introduce our speaker this morning, I'd like to call Reverend Terry Shea.
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. I know you didn't expect to see me here today, but I couldn't resist. In the middle of the 19th century, there was a major figure. Her name was Mary Baker Eddy. And Dr. Ernest Holmes, the founder of my tradition, studied with her, as did the Fillmores. And early in the 20th century, those students of Mary Baker Eddy found themselves together again with the teacher of teachers, Emma Curtis Hopkins. Today, I stand before you to introduce the teacher of teachers. Reverend Marilyn was my teacher. And you know some of my students, Reverend Carrie Hunter, Reverend Wendy Aboski, and Reverend Tamaris Rossander in CSL White Rock. It is a very significant moment for me today to stand here and introduce you to the woman who has, as my ministerial teacher, been always the wind beneath my wings.
Okay, Reverend Terry, how do I follow that? Geez, that was a surprise for sure. Okay, Babs, just a moment of technical things. Down. You love, my hand is full of dog treats. I'll put them up here in case we need them, anybody, right? I am so honored to be here today. You know, I thought I'd retired pretty much, but I can't call you Reverend Terry. Terry, you know, he goes, oh, Marilyn, you got to do this one more time. I'm going, and then, of course, I get up this morning and go, why did I say I was doing this? You know, it brings back lots of memories. It even brings back the memory when I first came to Canada. I would get up I don't know why I need to tell you this, but I just, you know, I would get up every Sunday morning and dye my hair before I did church. You know, it was that important. Thank God I did not do that today, but I'm, you know, hopefully, you know, I'm prepared. And the neat thing for me is that I learned a lot by saying that I would speak. And, you know, I guess there's no end to this. I think by now, after all these years, I'd have it. Do we ever have it? I think, you know, it's incremental, isn't it? So anyway, it is my honor to be here. Thank you so much for being here. Babs, I'll tell you about Babs. Babs and I are going to be at the door later, so that's my favorite part. So I'll get to talk to you, a lot of you then. That'll be wonderful. And now we come together in perhaps some moments of stillness, but a time of meditation for all of us. And I'd like to start this, if you would, by just look around, if you will, and look what love looks like today. Is it amazing or what? Oh my God, you know, sometimes we forget that love is all there is. If God is all there is, then love is all there is. And we get busy in our lives and forget to go, oh, it's so simple. This is what love looks like right now. And if you want to close your eyes, that's fine, or just keep looking at love outside, but I want you to go inside now. And if you take a moment and go, oh, this is what love feels like right now. This is what Spirit has brought for me to experience as love today as me. I'm imagining that right there is calm. And right there is peace. All the peace we could possibly need, right there. And right there is power. The power of life moving through each one of us. Right there is joy. The dance of the universe right inside of me. For right there is love. Right there is God. Right there is Spirit. Right there, I am. Right here. And if you feel like breathing into that, just do that. If you feel like staying in that, being washed by that. This is the peace that passes understanding. Right where I am. What a blessed, blessed, blessed place. Divine love. Right where I am. And I will close this time with the words, and so it is, and so it always shall be. And so it is. Well, I said I would speak if I could bring my dog. And you're a dog lover. I know that you are. And I want to introduce you to Babs. Babs, come on up. Come here, big girl. I know. Babs, sit. Is she amazing or what? She's almost a year and a half. She's a black lab. She's owned by BC Guide Dogs, BC Alberta Guide Dogs, and her future, she will most likely, if you don't flunk out, she will most likely be a guide dog for someone who doesn't see, or for autism, or for PTSD, or some other special dog. And, it's amazing. I've questioned what I'm doing a little bit along the way until I ran into a lady in the park who had a guide dog with her kids. And the guide dog was in a different colored jacket. So, I'm so nosy, I'm going, wait a minute, because people make up those jackets. You know what I mean, to get their dog in. I'm a card-carrying BC Alberta guide dog puppy trainer. And so anyway, I walked up to her, not telling her, that I was going to see if I could catch her, using false jackets. And she told me that she's got 5 kids. One is autistic. Okay, I'm getting to you in a minute. One is autistic, and this is the first year that kid has gone to public school. I went, okay, I can do this. I can do this, and I can trust the process. Some people have come up to me and they go, oh, so you were suckered in, weren't you? And I go, wow, you don't know what a gift this is. I've also had people come up to me in the mall thanking me for what I'm doing. So anyway, what a journey this is. Okay, you've made your presence known, and you're going to come back here. Come on, Babs. Come on. There you go. I have this carefully planned. Okay, Babs, down. Down. I have friends on the front row in case there's a getaway. You are so wonderful. Okay, so what I got to relive, and they said, sure, you can bring your dog. She's become such a great part of my life. It must have been a year ago, no kidding. I was sitting in my living room, and I live on a floating home, and it's pretty cool because I see the river and the eagles and all this kind of stuff, which I personally love. And I was sitting there, and I'm going, wow, I'm getting a little bit older. I wonder if this is all there is. It was just kind of a wondering. Have any of the rest of you had that feeling? It's like, what else am I supposed to do? I kid you not, the universe works in amazing ways, doesn't it? Shelley, who's sitting right here in the front row, she happened, a few days later, I didn't think anything about it. She called me and said, there's going to be a gathering for BC Guide Dogs for people that contribute, because it's run on donations, and it's going to be at the golf club. I went, ooh, good snacks. And, would you like to come? Well, really, I had nothing better to do, So I went, and it was a nice golf course. Shelley, I'm going to tell on you, Shelley headed for the tea and the cake. I headed for the dogs. There were like 12 guide dogs around the room, either working or retired or whatever, and they each had their handler there and all that. I mean, I could not wait to get my hands on them. And I have a dog at home, for God's sakes, And, I have the thought, I like dogs that don't shed. I've already had 2 dogs. It makes me crazy to have 2 dogs. I wasn't even thinking about it. Well, so the program went on, and they talked about these dogs, and they talked about what they were doing with them, and, possibilities. They're building a new facility and all that kind of stuff. And I thought, well, that's really nice. But then I put my hand up, and I said, exactly how much does anybody pay for these dogs? I was amazed when he said $1. I went, okay. I think maybe this is something to do. So, no kidding. Before I knew it, and I did not plan this. It was the furthest thing. Before I knew it, I was going, okay, so who do I talk to here? Oh, my God. So they sent me to the main puppy raiser, and I said, okay, I got to tell you the truth. I live on a floating home, so I have no yard. I'm almost 80 years old, and I already have a dog. He goes, "You're perfect." You know, it was like something was going on. I didn't plan it, I can tell you that. You know, it was like beyond. And it was like, so he started telling me about Babs, who was 7 months old, and she was with a woman who had raised a bunch of puppies, but I can't imagine this. This woman only liked the little puppies that pee and poop and bite and all this kind of stuff, you know. So they had Babs, which was she was about 6 or 7 months old, and he goes, "I think it's a perfect fit," you know. And it was like things were going on but I was really excited about it. So he brought Babs over, you know, and I had already told them I've trained dogs, I've danced with dogs, I've done all these things. They are so lucky to get me. So he brings Babs over and he goes, "You know, we got a lot of stuff on the internet. Why don't you just look at that?" And he kind of left her, and I'm going, "Oh my God, what am I going to do now?" And no kidding, the first couple of weeks, and really I've had a lot of experience. You know, so the first couple of weeks, my friends were calling me, "Hey, Marilyn, how's it going?" I said, "It's very hard. Like, very hard." You know, first of all, I've got one dog that she's 12 years old and everything, and I didn't want to short her, you know, but it was like I had this out-of-control dog, and I had to take her to the licensing place, and she was pulling me down the street, and, you know, it was just total chaos. So I called the trainer, and I go, "Wait a minute." And he said, "She just hasn't bonded with you yet." And, you know, even through that, I knew I was not giving up. I mean, I could tell him at any moment, "Take her back." But there was something in me that said, you know, giving up is not an option. And look what I have now. I mean, it's less than a year. Look at this. And we're supposed to be very calm as trainers because they want calm dogs. I am not basically calm, in case you haven't figured that out, you know. And the first time I yelled at her, I went, "Oh no, I ruined her. But I have gone places with her that I could never have even imagined. I live in Ladner. We do not have public transportation besides buses that go to the casino. You know, I'm not a casino person. So, you know, but with Babs, I've been on Sky Trains and Canada Lines and to the airport. My job is to get her to experience life. You know, and, you know, within some reasonable calmness. I've met with other puppy trainers, and we get together and we go, "Okay, what kind of adventure are we having now?" And, you know, when I look back from sitting in my room going, "I wonder if this is all there is." And my life wasn't bad then. But it's like, it's opened so many doors. I've been with Cassandra and her friends to restaurants now. That is fun, you know, because she's supposed to be under the table. Well, you know, they're little creepy crawly things, you know. Well, maybe I'll just go over here. And if there's food on the floor, but I need to keep training her there. I've learned so many wonderful, wonderful things. She has brought so much to my life, which I never, ever, ever would have guessed. And, you know, it was obviously the right time. I didn't know. So the other day, most of you know about the guide dog program. I mean, I knew about it. That sooner or later she was going to go on. She was going to move on, which meant that she would no longer be with me. And I got an email the other day about instructions of what was needed when she moved on. And that's like packing up all her stuff, her toys. If she's going to go on a plane, you know, there are certain instructions and everything. And I went, oh, she's become such a part of my life, you know? It's my job and my life. And so I started thinking about what is the best thing for me to do, from a spiritual point of view. And what became evident to me is the best thing I can do is love her even more. Because there's that looming picture of actually giving, I can say they're taking her away. No, I'm moving her, I'm letting her move on to the next place. And the truth is, I can't go there with her. There are things meant for her that she needs to experience. And so talk about letting go, and I don't know when it's going to happen. They said sometimes we only get a week's notice, and she gets to move on. And it's like, so the moments with her are so precious. And I still yell at her. And I go, Babs, you do that one more time in your history. No, I don't do that very often, do I? But, but loving her, paying attention to her and all those kinds of things. And so the conclusion I came up with this experience is, wait a minute, I wrote it down. I got to remember what it was, the conclusion. But it is that anytime I'm feeling upset, and I honestly think this is true now, anything I'm upset about something or I'm afraid of something coming along, what I get to do is love even more. Tough one, isn't it? Tough one. Oh my gosh. Put this into tandem with, I've been working with this. I have great conversations with Terry sometimes, and last time I was there, I go, why are we doing this? Why are we going through all this analysis, paralysis, all this stuff? And it was Ernest Holmes, which of course is the Science of Mind guy, but he studied with the Fillmores and all that kind of stuff, so it's the same. Ernest Holmes, listen to this. He says, the ultimate goal is complete emancipation from all discord of any nature. Now, I don't know how many of you have experienced that, but I don't think I have very often. The ultimate goal is complete emancipation from all discord of any nature. And he goes on to say, this goal is sure to be reached by all. And I go, holy cow, I got a little work here to do for sure. Can you imagine, getting out of bed and going, woohoo, we got another day here. What are we going to do? Which really is fun, and it happens sometimes. Okay, you're smiling. You know this. You probably just get out of bed every day and go, whoa. Anyway, I go, well, you guys are all so much more advanced. Anyway, so I think, what is this about? And then I go back to the theory taught in New Thought places, and it says, love is the self-givingness of creation to all of us. That love is given to us. That love is right there for the taking. That love is right there. And so I go, well, isn't that interesting, So, and I think we're all in process of giving this. And Reverend Terry, I called you Reverend this time. Not that you aren't, you're very reverend, yes. But Emma Curtis Hopkins, who is the teacher of teachers, she said that God is our good. So good is what is here for all of us as well. It's through loving that good, and for us to get this idea that good is what we're here to experience. Good is what we're here to be and experience. It's in our innate nature. Now, Emma Curtis Hopkins, if you've done many New Thought courses, you've probably heard of us. I love this woman. She was born in 1849. She wore these great big dresses, you know. She was in Boston, and she studied with Mary Baker Eddy, who founded Christian Science. Well, this is such a great job because Mary Baker Eddy, founder of Christian Science, chose her to be the editor of the things that went out and everything. Well, one day, Mary Baker Eddy just fired her on the spot. I mean, so what are you going to do? So Emma Curtis Hopkins got on with her own life, and her message was, it grew, and it was in the Boston area, and then she went to Detroit, I believe. But her message is, good is my right. My God is good, and my good is God. And that was the essence of her message. She said, there is good for you which you ought to have. How many of us go, I ought to have this good? You know, well, maybe that outfit, I ought to have it, but that's it. You know, good is there, and we ought to have it. I mean, what a woman. This is like the 1800s, for God's sakes, yeah. And she said, good is the only true nature of God. And she said, life is about living it and proving it, for sure. In my note, oh God, I love this. In my notes I have, okay, I'm going to be talking about the drain pipe now, and I have no idea what I was going to say. That has never happened to me before. I'm going, oh my God. So good, once we step into that, and we, you know, for me, I feel like I've been protecting myself from things that might happen in the world, instead of getting up and going, okay, good is my God, and God is my good, and I expect it today. And what a difference in life that means. You know, what I get afraid of is it's going to come up and blindside me one day, you know, and go, I think it's because it's from parental thing. It's going to swap me on the face and go, just who do you think you are? But we in New Thought, we're in process then, right, of living that we deserve good, whatever that is, because good is God and God is good. And, you know, that's our birthright. And it all begins right where we are, for sure. You know, I follow a bunch of people on the internet. Well, not too many, because I delete most of them. And there's one by Abraham. I don't know how many of you follow that one. Pretty neat. And there's so many ways that we disconnect ourselves from good. And Abraham says, if you make something your enemy, if you're afraid of something, if you push against something, it has no effect on them. But I disconnect myself from that good. I disconnect myself. So our job is to be conscious there, no matter what the news says, no matter what our friends say, whatever, to connect with that good is ours, for sure. And it seems like what life really is for me is learning to let go of a lot of really old patterns, that I'm not enough. And, you know, and that when I let go of Babs, it's going to really be terrible. And I'm saying, you know, the trainer trainers said, when it's time for her to go, I will cry, and they will give me another puppy. And I'm going there, man. I am going there. I have to keep, at my advanced stage, I have to keep fit so I can have this next puppy. No kidding. I mean, because it is so good. So we carry old patterns from our parents sometimes that shut us down. And all these things is the deal they're saying there is to expect our good. And that's what this center is about, is teaching us, that life is in essence good. And as we open ourselves up to that, that's exactly what we will be. I have great conversations with Reverend Terry. And, we were talking about letting go. And I go, well, so that it doesn't get in the way of my good. And I go, well, there are a few things. I mean, I can let go of a lot of things, but there are a few people, after what they've done to me, don't you? Yes. After the things they've said about me, it's like, But then to learn through spiritual understanding that my holding on to those things doesn't do them any good, any harm at all. They're having a great time, right? I have some neighbors that tried to sue me. And I got to say, I still have a little bit of work to think about them coming down the street. Oh, God, they get you. But that's where the deal is. That's where our work is, to see them as right and as whole and everything and get on with our life. And if they've got issues, it's their problem, That's the way it goes. So we are so lucky to have this teaching called New Thought. And to even have the information, I don't know that I practice it all the time, but the information about that. So Terry is a wonderful friend and teacher of mine, and he said that we were talking about letting go, so letting go of all this stuff. Letting go, it's like clearing the air, just clearing the air out. And I said, well, there are a few things I have a little problem with. And he said, well, let's think about it. The last thing we do on earth is to let go. Let go. Wow. So, Babs, I get to practice letting go. And again, knowing that she's going to go places that I cannot go. But also knowing that there are places for me to go that she can't go with me either. And it's all really good. It's all right. Because God is on our side. Life is on our side. That's what we're here for. So I promised myself I'd watch the time, and how did it get so late already? I don't know. But I don't know what you've got going on in your life. It's about loving enough to let go. Loving her enough to let go. So I'm wondering if you will come with me just for a moment as we close this just bit of time. And maybe even take a moment to surrender and let go of anything but love. To just let go and feel divine love, which is our birthright, in our minds, in our bodies, in our affairs. And we do walk forward in strength and in love, knowing this is what we are here to do. I give thanks for this teaching, for this time together. I give thanks for life itself. And so it is. Amen.
Try singing again. That's good. Life feels so good when I'm grateful, showing love although others may be hateful. It's time to make a choice, raise my spirits and my voice, give credit where credit is due. Moving fast through our lives, we are blinded. It's easy to lose sight of God's kindness. When blessings come to me, then the source is plain to see. Give credit where credit is due. Find delight in amazing things as you work and play. Co-creating, activating, loving every day. Plant a seed and watch it grow. Your greatest good is sure to show. When good things happen to me, then God is working through me. In this world, making sense of the sadness can be hard when you're hurting to see the goodness. Just say a simple prayer, take it with you everywhere, and give it to those who count on you. And recognize the one who makes it true. Give credit where credit is due. Delight in amazing things as you work and play. Co-creating, activating, loving every day. Plant a seed and watch it grow. Your greatest good is sure to show. When good things happen to me, and then God is working through me. In this world, making sense of the sadness you're hurting to see the goodness, just say a simple prayer. Take it with you everywhere and give it to those who count on you, and recognize the one who makes it true. Give credit where credit is due. Come on, do it. I like it. Come on, do it now. Come on, yeah. Woo. Yeah.
Once again, thank you, Marilyn, for a wonderful talk, for your energy, and for Babs, you were a good girl. And Tom, once again, thank you for your amazing talent. We now come to the time in our gathering where we demonstrate our faith and spirit through our freely given love offerings. We give thanks to Source for the many blessings in our lives. Thanks for our health. Thanks for the people in our lives. And thanks for the many blessings we enjoy every day. May these blessings spread and be enjoyed by all people everywhere, and may there be peace on earth. So now, let's join together in our offering statement. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. And if you're here in person, please drop off your donation with the ushers as you exit the sanctuary. And to donate online, simply click on the donate link in your chat window, which will allow you to give via all major credit cards. And you can also give via e-transfer, which can be addressed to donations@unityofvancouver.org. And once again, if you're on Zoom or YouTube, you'll find a donate link in your chat window. And now, while we're making donations, let's enjoy a few more minutes of Tom's talent.
This song is called Prishnya pro Ridnu Zemlyu, which means a song about my native land, and it's by a Ukrainian composer, Ihor Shamo.
So, coming up later this month, the Enneagram Workshop. And this powerful workshop offers a lens for understanding our gifts, challenges, and helps identify the outdated strategies we may be using in an attempt to be more of ourselves. Through a combination of multimedia clips, lecture, discussions, and exercises, we'll explore what makes each of the 9 personality types tick, what they're like at their best and their worst, and how we can explore these parts of ourselves with compassion and curiosity. No prior knowledge of the Enneagram or anyone's own type is required, just a willingness to know yourself better. Your facilitators are TJ Daw and Lindsay Robertson. TJ and Lindsay are certified teachers of the Enneagram Institute and have led workshops since 2014. There will be an online information session on Zoom before the workshop on Wednesday, November 22nd. You can register on our website and get all the details at unityofvancouver.org. And be sure to join us next Sunday as Reverend Thomas DeShooter joins us once again here at Unity to speak to us about being in harmony with the divine. Today's affirmative prayer chaplains are Jeannie Bell Irving, Melba Burns, Margaret McLeod, and Lori Malenka on Zoom. To have a confidential prayer with one of our chaplains, simply come up to the front. After all the music is finished, they'll be here in the front area and would love to support you in prayer. And if you're watching on Zoom or YouTube, I'll show you how you too can participate in just a few minutes. Could we ask Melba, Jeannie, and Margaret to please stand so you can see who they are? And of course, please join us downstairs after the service for coffee, tea, and conversation. And now, as we bring our gathering to a close, please stand and let us say our prayer for protection.
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us.